Unconsistently consistent.
Start this lovely poll episode.
Oh, the pole in the hole. That's what we'll call it.
Hole in the hole. Down in the body, yo. Anyway,
It's story time with Rachel.
story time with Rachel. Welcome, hello, welcome to Inconsistent. Oh, fucking.
Okay,
God
that's
damn it.
so low energy.
I gotta try that again because I don't know if you heard me stumble over.
I heard it, and it was also so low energy. Like, it's before you started tripping over your words, it was like, hello and welcome to. It was already like, I don't want to be here. Kill me now. And then it was like,
Okay, let me try it again. Hello and welcome back to Inconsistently Consistent, the podcast where we trip over our words every day, all day. My name's Rachel.
And my name is Melanie.
And figure out which one of us tripped over our words. You'll never be able to tell by the cold open.
It really is a toss-up who's gonna do it.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
I do that at work sometimes where I'll just be like, I'll trip over my words and I do that whole fucking shit thing. Everybody just laughs at me. I'm like, you don't understand how hard it is, okay?
You don't understand my life.
You don't understand my life.
My life is a word.
So hard. Just like this dick.
Just like this pole.
This dick I'm gonna get.
And why are we making weird dick jokes today, Rachel? Tell the listeners.
Because, listeners, today is the episode of me. It is the Rachel episode.
And that's why we're making weird dick jokes. Because it's the Rachel episode.
We're gonna talk. I'm more specifically, and Melanie has questions that I'm probably not going to be able to answer because many of these stories happened almost 9 years ago. I'm going to talk about some of the men I have come across in my dating experience.
Yes. Well, Rachel was out in the wilds of the online dating and the, IRL dating. She's come across quite the strange men in the wilds of the Canadian landscape.
Yes, and I'm going to preface this by saying that my stories are all going to be about men because that is what I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
So before, I don't know why I'm attracted to it, but I am.
We can figure that out because you know what? Last episode we played the red flags game, and you gave me a red flag with the nose thing, which was based on a true story that you had, and the guy with the weird nose fetish thing. And I was like, I have so many questions, and then that's where this episode had to come from. I was like, we need a whole episode where you talk about these things so I can have all of my questions answered, and all of the listeners can have all of their questions answered.
Or they can just judge me for my choices, which, you know what? Fair. I judge myself.
Yeah. And I have many a question. And I wanted it on the record.
And some stories are about things that I have been told by some guys. So there's one in particular that I know I haven't told you that to this day, it still baffles me.
Oh.
Because every now and then I'll sit there and I'll be like, how does that work that you did that so hard that this thing happened?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, Rachel.
Oh yes, Melanie.
You don't know the questions that I will come up with.
So I guess we gotta start. Let's start from the beginning of the very good place to start.
The beginning?
The beginning. So I first.
In the beginning, there was light.
Sure.
This is the Bible, right?
No, I meant the beginning of my online dating experience.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about this last night when I was going to bed, how I was going to start this. So I had one boyfriend up until I joined online dating, and I was 16, and those relationships kind of don't count because you're 16 and you don't understand anything.
Okay, fair, fair.
3 months, it was long distance, and yeah, it was whatever. I think
I
he's.
don't think I know about the real, like, the one when you were 16.
I don't know if we were really good friends at the time.
Yeah, we weren't really close as much until like late high school,
Yeah,
early university.
yeah. But it wasn't very interesting. It was this guy that I met at Bible camp, music camp, because I was a nerd, and we. He was my first kiss, all those things, and
But Bible camp.
yeah, music.
Crazy shit must go down at Bible camp.
Oh, you have no idea. There are people who have given blowjobs at Bible camp.
Okay, well, after we know about there's a whole nose fetish thing coming later in this podcast,
Hmm.
a blowjob at Bible camp really, it doesn't do it for me, Rachel.
When you're 15, 16, you're like, oh, a blowjob in the gazebo? Scandalous.
We shouldn't talk about underage people.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
they were all underage, but at the time you were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so scandalous." We snuck it. Everybody snuck out, and these two people snuck off to the gazebo. Scandal.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
so
bet some crazy shit goes down at Bible camp.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, one thing.
Mhm.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yes,
Do you remember when she was dating?
yes,
Do you remember that she used to pray before they made out?
I didn't hear that.
Yes, they did.
Oh
So
my
they
god.
were super, super religious, and they would pray before they made out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had all the deets in high school. So they would pray before they made out all the time.
Hmm.
So there was the religious side of things, especially. No, I'm not going to get into the different religions, but the super religious crowd in high school were the weirdest when it came to sex. Like they got freaky. Like they were like, "Oh, it's totally fine to have sex as long as like it's in the asshole."
Yeah.
Right? Like anal is fine cuz like the other parts are for Jesus. Right?
Vaginas for Jesus.
Yeah. Vajayjay's for Jesus.
Vaginas for Jesus.
Vajayjay's for Jayjay's for Jay. Right? And oh god, all the crazy stuff. Oh my god. And they would be like, or other ones who were just like, anything goes except penetrative sex.
Hmm.
Right? So you could put it anywhere except vajayjay's for Jesus.
Except the vaginas for Jesus.
Right? So it shit got weird. Right? Oh, the stories I've heard, Rachel.
That reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever watched Family Guy,
I said bits and pieces.
but there was an episode where Meg has a boyfriend. And I think it's either Lois or Peter walks in on Meg and her boyfriend in their bedroom, and they're not having traditional penetrative sex. He put it in her ear. Yeah, he put it in her ear.
Yes, yes. I remember that. I don't remember much from watching Family Guy, like besides like Stewie and Brian just being hilarious, but like, yeah, I remember that vividly now that you say. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's probably something people do though.
I mean, probably if they're like, okay, if we want to save ourselves for marriage, but I really want to put my ding-a-ling somewhere, ear hole.
Any hole is a goal.
Any hole works.
Okay, back on track. Back on track.
Okay.
Where were we, Rachel?
Okay, so
move past Bible camp.
Yeah,
we got stuck in that plot. Not really a plot hole. What's it called? A tangent.
Yeah, we got stuck on that tangent. Anyways, so I first signed up for my first ever dating website. Plenty of Fish.
Ooh, yes, POS.
At the ripe age of 20, I was turning 21 in the fall, so I was 21. And I heard about this dating website from a roommate of mine at MUN because she had been on there. Yeah.
Oh, it dropped out for a second. I thought you said Lily. And I was like, hell is Lily? Yeah.
Because she was on when me and her were roommates for a year at MUN.
That was a weird year for you.
That was very weird.
It was a weird roommate year.
Yeah, she was on Plenty of Fish and was talking to guys, and her and another girl were on there together after that girl broke up, and they were like trying to find guys or whatever. It was a whole thing. So yeah, I signed up, and you kind of do the little profile thing about yourself, who you are, what you're looking for, blah 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 blah, post pictures and all this kind of stuff. The first guy I talked to, he seemed pretty nice. I don't really remember his name, but that's whatever. The one thing I remember about him, and I guess this is where I look back and I'm like, huh, this is where it all started, eh?
Uh-oh.
He was engaged.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't tell me.
So does Rachel have a type?
Rachel's type apparently is taken.
I have a very particular set of skills. It's hiding my hiding my current fiance.
Because, we did the thing, as you do. And I found out after he was engaged, because I ended up finding him on Facebook. I can't remember who told me to look him up on Facebook, one of my other friends, and found out that he was engaged because he was posting pictures with this other girl. And I was like, ow. Well.
Wow. Well, then.
Well. Like, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Shitty people.
Yeah, I was like, listen, if you're gonna I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna sound like very hypocritical if you know anything about me, listeners, which Melanie does. And if you're gonna do that, then just don't be in a relationship, says the person who did that while she was in a relationship.
Well, I think you're the one who knows the most about it, Rachel. You can speak on it. You're the expert.
Unfortunately.
Hey. Live and you learn.
Live and you learn. Oh my god. Those 8 years of my life. Anyways. So yeah. That was like the first experience, and I was like, okay. Cool. Yeah. But not cool, I think I probably deleted it after that and then re-downloaded it. I don't remember. There's so many times where I like downloaded it, delete it, download it, delete, download it, delete it. Anyways.
I tried Plenty of Fish for a hot second. And like, I think I stayed on it for not even a full week. And you know why I went off of it?
Why?
I got annoyed because I had to talk to people. It was human interaction. Like, having to carry a conversation. Like, asking questions back and forth to someone, and I was like, you know what? I don't have the time for this or the patience. I don't want to know more people. Like, I'm too much of an introvert. I don't want to know more people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
It was too many. It was too many. Too many questions.
There's one guy, I never went on a date with him because I was just like, I don't know how to respond to this. His first message to me, which I didn't respond to, was, "Damn, you a sexy lady." Didn't respond. Was
But
like,
how did he spell you?
I think it was the letter U.
Okay, so that makes it worse to me.
Yeah.
Proper punctuation makes all the difference.
His second message was,
Oh, he kept trying.
he kept trying. His second message wasn't right after that one. It was like a few weeks later. Was, "You, me, Ice Cap game," which is the hockey team in St. John's when we were living there. I'll pick you
Yeah.
up. Pick you up at 7:30.
But you didn't respond to the first one.
My response to the second one was, "I have a midterm tomorrow."
I'm surprised you gave him more letters than just N and O.
Yeah, but he didn't answer me after that because I was like, no.
I but like, damn you a sexy lady, no response for like weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, me, ice cap game tomorrow. It's like caveman. You,
Mm-hmm.
me, go to cave. Ha ha ha.
You, me, go cave. Boom, boom. See what happened.
We go to place with ice on floor. See men with sticks and a hockey puck. Ha ha.
Yes. Yeah. I did sleep with a hockey player, though.
Was he a good hockey player?
He was interesting.
Like, was he on a well-known team, or is he
No,
like
just
an amateur? Like, I do this casually. Like,
yeah.
I have a rec league.
I think it was more like a rec league type thing. I don't know the whole details, but he was the one. I think I might have mentioned that originally told me he had a girlfriend, but then after we did the thing, told me he didn't have a girlfriend, and he lied because he doesn't do random hookups.
Mm-hmm. And so, because you'd already slept with the guy who was like, "Oh, I'm totally single," and then it was like, "Oops, no, he's engaged," you were like, this one told you he had a girlfriend, so it's like, you know, at least he's giving you the thing up front, right?
Yeah.
I
was like, you know what? At least you're being honest about what you're doing.
I see the progression here, Rachel. I feel like this is a therapy session right now.
Probably. But then
I'm qualified, but
no, you're not
I'm here.
So that same guy, because I seen him twice, and he did end up having a girlfriend. You can see the progression.
Oh.
However,
He was like, I got one. I don't. I got one.
However, he didn't really like his girlfriend.
Okay.
And I say that because he would talk to me about his girlfriend. And they weren't together very long, but one thing I do remember is she told him she wanted to have a kid. And he didn't want to have a kid with her.
Oh. Yeah. I remember this story. I've heard a portion of this story.
And he was like, I don't want to have a kid with her. So like I don't like, even if he wears a condom, he's like, I don't come in her because, she might poke a hole in the condom,
Oh, good Lord.
I was like, okay, we have lots of issues here to unpack, sir.
I can see why you're becoming a therapist. You seem to find the most fucked up people, and then you're like, I'm gonna fuck that person. But you can't fix them by fucking them, Rachel.
No.
Or were you just studying them?
Remember, no, but I didn't want to be a therapist at this point. I wanted to be a lawyer.
I think you're just collecting data.
Maybe I was.
Because you were subconsciously like, I'm going to be a therapist. But, like, your subconscious mind hadn't told your conscious mind yet.
No, my subconscious mind was just asleep, apparently, for that whole last year of MUN.
No, I think it was just, like, gathering intel.
So, because he's like, I don't do that because I feel like she might poke a hole in the condom or whatever. So to get back at her, he wanted to, blow it in me with a condom on to get back at her and be like, yeah, I'm going to do it with this random girl, but not with you.
Yeah.
He chickened out, pulled out, and then came on my back.
Okay.
I was like, this was not on my 2014 bingo card, that's for sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was weird. Because I was like, okay, so why couldn't you just, because my thought after that, I was like, why didn't you just be honest about the fact that you don't do hookups very often? And like, that would have been, that would have made more sense than the girlfriend line.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that's a weird line.
Yeah, it is.
To be like, oh, I don't do hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, pretend he was being truthful, and he didn't have a girlfriend, and he just didn't do hookups very often, and he's like, oh, I have a girlfriend. Like, that's the weirdest line to ever use. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know. I can't even think right now of what he could have used.
He could have said, I don't do this very often. This is my first time doing something like this. I'm nervous. Even if he said I'm nervous, I would have been like, yeah, I'm nervous too, because you could cut my face off and wear it as a mask.
How many women's faces do you have in your trunk?
Yeah, how many women's faces do you currently have in your trunk of your car, sir? Like,
that's what I'd like to know.
So, now we come to the nose man.
Oh, Monsieur Nose.
I'm saving kind of, because there's a whole bunch of things related to one particular person, so I'm saving all those so I can just kind of tell them all at once.
You mean Milkman?
Yes. Or Dude? Milkman, and there's a few about Dude. Not as many about Dude, but there's a lot about Milkman, so I'm saving kind of the bigger ones.
Yeah, we'll put all those together.
Yeah. So, we come to the nose guy.
Yes. Hit me with your best schnoz.
So this guy, started talking to him. He was a male stripper.
How would you come into contact with a male stripper?
He had his location set as St. John's because he sometime went there for work. I guess he was part of, like, sometimes some clubs would have, like, male strippers come. So he was part of those. He didn't live in St. John's currently. He lived in Winnipeg.
So is this still Plenty of Fish?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all Plenty of Fish.
So we're still on Plenty of Fish.
Yes. I don't have much luck on Tinder. Bumble's hit or miss because you have to message first as the girl on Bumble, and a lot of people don't reply. So, but yes. So, this is still Plenty of Fish. He has locations at St. John's. And he was a male stripper. He told me he was a male, I think he said, like, male dancer or something, and I was like, oh, you're a stripper. Okay, cool. Awesome. Great.
Exotic dancer?
He's probably said like male entertainer, dancer, male exotic dancer, or something. He didn't say stripper, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Adult entertainer.
yeah, something like that. I dance on this pole.
I dance on a stage
I dance on a stage with
with
just a
with
G-string
scantily
on,
clad,
just a G-string,
oiled up,
banana hammock, oiled up.
and I thrust.
hmm So the thing is, I never saw his face.
Okay.
I only saw from like neck down.
Yes.
hmm
But so what you're saying is it could have been Chris Hemsworth.
It could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I never saw his face.
Okay.
That's one thing I remember where he never showed his face.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Mr. Nose Man,
hmm
as I'm calling him, or Schnauzer?
hmm
Schnauzer. What do you think? I can't decide on a name for him. Mr. Schnauz?
I just call him Nose Man.
I want to give him a name.
You could call him the Schnoz,
Ooh, the big schnoz.
the big Schnoz.
You think he's got like a messed up nose? And that's why he wouldn't let you see his face?
Maybe.
Right? Like he's into noses? Because maybe he doesn't have one. Maybe it's a Voldemort situation.
Oh no! It's like, have you seen House of the Dragon yet?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, where there's a guy with a club foot. This isn't really a spoiler, but there's a guy with a club foot, and he likes looking at feet and jerks himself off. So maybe it's something like that, where his nose is deformed and he likes looking at regular noses. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking, and he wants to video chat one night on Skype. Remember Skype?
Yeah, way back in like the 1940s or something.
2014 Skype was the thing.
Sure. Same thing.
And he wanted to Skype. And I was like, sure, we can Skype, like, whatever. And this is where, like I said, I didn't see his face. It was just, like, neck down.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a sound on either. So we just, like, typed on Skype, which was also kind of weird.
Boss schnoz. Sorry. Still going through my head. Boss schnoz.
Okay.
You
Great.
know the Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard?
I haven't seen Dukes of Hazzard.
Have you not grown up on these things?
No, Melanie, no.
Okay, well, there's Boss Hogg, which is a very large sheriff man who's always like fucking everything up for the Dukes of Hazzard and Daisy Duke and all that shit, right? So Boss Hogg is an ass. And Boss Schnoz is now this guy's name.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like it. Boschnosh. So yeah, didn't have any sound on. We just typed on Skype to talk to each other, which is kind of weird.
Because you'd know that he had no nose if he talked because he'd sound like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
And one of the main problems I have with Harry Potter is that Voldemort without a nose would not sound like Ralph Fiennes.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah. They made Voldemort fuckable, is what they did in the Harry Potter movies. They were like, you couldn't fuck Voldemort if he had no nose. If he sounded like he had no nose. What?
Okay, interesting. We'll have to unpack that at a later date.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any questions about that.
I think there is some.
I think it's very straightforward.
There's questions about that. We'll unpack that at a later date.
I think Bellatrix was down. She was DTF, right?
Yeah. Bellatrix was special, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we would vibe, me and her. We'd have a good time.
Yeah, you guys would, definitely.
Mm.
So we're on Skype, and I don't remember how exactly this came up. But it came up at some point. He asked me to
Well,
rub.
usually men get aroused and then it comes up, Rachel. That's how it
Oh,
works.
oh, you're so funny. Oh, you're so funny. Oh, oh.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Because we hear always.
But he somehow, it came to him asking me to rub my nose. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I want you to rub your nose. And I was like, okay.
I want you to rub your nose, Rachel.
He was like, can you, like, I don't understand. He's like, I want you to take one finger. He was very specific, one finger, and rub your nose. He's like,
He
but
does this all over typing, though, right?
yes.
Which that ruins it for me. It ruins the story. I think you need to go back and redraft, Rachel.
Sure, let me see if I can find him and we'll redraft that 8 years later.
Typing. Like, how does one type this out and like, I want you to take one finger and rub it around the side of your nose, up the side, and then slowly go around the tip of your nose. Slow it down. Go sensually. Sensually go slower. Yes. Right?
I don't know. Again, like I said, I know you have lots of questions. I don't have the answers.
Hey, sometimes you have questions. You don't have to have answers. You can just put them out into the ether.
But he was like, I need you to rub it slowly and with one finger. He's like, because that, I really like it when girls do that. It turns me on. And I was like, this is weird, but okay. So I rubbed my nose.
And then I would like you to go to the kitchen and get a knife and cut your nose off and put it in a box and mail it to 123 Winnipeg Drive, where I live, because I don't have a nose and I need yours. Thank you.
Sure.
Boss Schnoz. We out.
Sure.
Oh, too dark?
No. But I just remember that was, he was like, rub it slow with one finger. But he didn't like, he didn't.
Yes, because two fingers would have really like thrown off the vibe.
Yeah, it threw out. It would have threw off the groove. But he didn't. If I remember this correctly, he didn't touch himself while I did it. He just sat there and watched me rub my nose.
Yes, he was taking measurements. Yeah, like you can't. Typing takes effort, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of the time, and I'm imagining he's typing on a computer because Skype.
Yes, we were on computers. We were both, I was at like the desk that was in my Red's room. I had a single room, thank God. And he was at somewhere desk-wise in his room. And we were both sitting there and legit, we were typing to each other.
Yeah, so like if he's typing, he's gonna need both hands, likely. Mm-hmm. You can type one-handed, but it's harder, right? And especially if you're gonna type out instructions of how he wants you to touch your nose, and he wants specific instructions, right? Like it's not just like touch your nose, it's go up one side with one finger and then go around the tip and blah blah blah, right? Like
yeah,
he needs both hands for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He can't, unless he has a third arm that he's got off screen, then we don't know what's up.
Yeah.
Right? So he needed both hands to type out the instructions.
He did.
He really should have had copy and paste instructions. So he would have enjoyed this.
Really though.
Bosh Schnoz, we really could have made this easier for you. Now, sharks, here's our pitch. Have you ever been in a situation where you're trying to convince a girl to rub her nose so you can get off? And you've just like got to type out your instructions, but you need both hands. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Well, we've got the fix for you. A third arm. Just grow it out your back. Stem cell research.
We're asking for $1 million with 30% of the company.
Yeah. And we'd like it up front. And don't look over the documents.
No, I want it in Bitcoin. I want my million in Bitcoin.
Yes, we're gonna give you actually 100% of the company. You give us $1 million, and we run.
Yes.
Okay, bye. Peace.
Bye, Sharks. Thank you, Sharks.
Thank you so much. Also, you get Bosch Schnoz because we don't want him.
There was also a common theme between a few of them. He was one of them. Bosch Schnoz was one of them. There was another guy that, for some reason, on top of the nose thing, he wanted me to make fun of his dick. He wanted me to degrade him. He wanted me to, like, it's a small dick. It doesn't look very good. I'd never get off on that. Like, say mean things about it.
Yeah. Next to the whole nose thing, not as weird.
Mm-hmm.
But together, quite the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, is he telling you to degrade his dick because he doesn't want you to look up at his lack of nose?
I don't know.
Right? It is a good distraction, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good tactic. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, speaking of, like, degradation kinks, like, not so, like, I can see when people are, like, a little bit, like, they want to, like, get into that and, like, the talk dirty and get a little bit, right? Like, calling names, like, call you a slut and stuff like that.
Yes. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they'll be like, are you my slut? Yes, I'm your slut. You know, like, I'm your whore, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's different when you want it done to a specific body part.
Yeah, that's where I'm out.
Yeah, like if I was to be like, make fun of my stomach, like tell me my stomach's gross or something, that'd be weird.
Yeah, like, and is it just like is it a female thing as well, where it's like, we're more like body sensitive because we've had so much body shaming?
I don't know.
Right?
Again, not into females, so I don't know if that's something that there's some females out there or those who identify as females who are into degradation. I don't know if it would be about particular bodies. Like maybe it is just oh, you're my slut, you're my whore, you're a bad little girl, those types of things, you know?
Yeah, because like I can get on board with some of it, like the bad little girl, like,
you're a dirty girl, all those things, yeah.
Like to some extent. But when it gets like a specific body part or like the body shame part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about, you know, discussing the kinks and the you know, the levels you want to get to in the beginning and make if everybody's comfortable, go for it.
But yeah. There's always a discussion that I have with any guy I've spoken to where I'm like, okay, what are you into? These are my things that I will not do. Do not ask me to do it because I will say no.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the conversation about, okay, what kind of things are you into? What's your favorite position? And then a lot of times the guys would be like, okay, are you on birth control? Because they don't want to have random babies, which, like, fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have you been tested? Do you have any, like, STDs, HIV, all those types of things? Those are, like, conversations that I think everybody should have with sexual partners and not be so, like, no, I don't want to talk about that with thing, but
Yeah, not be so closed off and like
mhm.
just like romance novel throw yourself in and like, oh my gosh, I dropped something, and then all of a sudden you're fucking on the floor.
Yeah,
So asking a question or having a conversation, right? That's not how it works in real life, like 99% of the time.
because there's some people out there that certain things could be triggering for them,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're somebody who has experienced any form of like sexual harassment, sexual abuse, sexual assault. And it's
Yeah.
good to have those boundaries, whether you're male, female, you're a blob, you're non-binary, like you got to make sure that everybody is comfortable and understands what is okay, what is not okay. If you guys want to have a safe word, like have a safe word so people know that things aren't getting like too out of hand.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of people that are into BDSM are
Hmm.
honestly like when people do it
Hmm.
right and don't actually do they read stuff like 50 Shades and
Hmm.
shit like that, and they're like, "Oh, this is BDSM." But the actual do it right and they look at how it's done, there's
Hmm.
so much communication and discussing of everybody's boundaries
Hmm.
and limits, and like how far are we going, how far are we not going, what do you want as a safe word, how do we get out of this.
What do we do as aftercare? That's a big one I've seen because
Yeah,
I'm on Kink TikTok, and
yeah.
that's one thing I've seen where they discuss like aftercare, like what do you need from, if it's like a dom sub situation, it's like what do you need from the dom once things are done? Like, do you
Mhm.
need them to like cuddle you? Do you need them to get you something? Do you need them to leave you alone? Like, it's important to have these conversations. And like, from when I started kind of figuring out what I liked, I was not afraid to have those conversations, and I would be the one to bring it up because of who I am. I'm a very like in your face type person. Like, one of my questions to somebody on a dating on Plenty of Fish was, if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be? And he was like, wow, that's a great opener. Hi, how are you? To answer your question.
Yeah, Rachel's, you're like, don't hold back, right? And half the time when I'm around you and we like talk to other people, I'm like, Rachel, you can't talk to people like that. You can't say that. Like maybe back off a little sometimes because you're just like, I'm just gonna say whatever,
Yeah.
right? But I I feel like at least with like that culture,
Hmm.
there's so much focus on communication has to be had,
Hmm.
and there's just not that with other things, because I think like sex is such like a there's so much shame surrounding it, and like, oh, it's got to be hush hush and nobody talks about it and all this.
Hmm.
But one thing I have noticed, and like as a lawyer who
Hmm.
does a lot of divorces, something that comes up with clients is that uh, a lot of people are getting divorced. And, I have to read a lot of messages, like a
Hmm.
lot of texting and a lot of that type of stuff. And there's a lot of sex in them, okay? A lot of talk of sex in their messages that sometimes is relevant and sometimes is not. But unfortunately, I have to see a lot of this shit
Hmm.
that I did not want to. But a lot of these people are getting a divorce and they matched up on like almost everything about their life
Hmm.
except in the bedroom, right? And so like say the guy is like, so say we have a hetero relationship, because
Hmm.
like almost every client I freaking deal with is a hetero relationship.
Hmm.
So we got a hetero relationship and the man is wanting sex all the time, and the woman is like, no, I'm not into that as much. And then
Hmm.
like the man is more like sexually adventurous and the woman's more vanilla.
Hmm.
They didn't figure that out before they got married. So now they got like a couple of kids.
Hmm.
and property together and a whole lot of mess to deal with in a divorce. But they matched up in like almost every other way. Right? Like they had all the values in terms of like they wanted kids, they wanted this type of life together, they wanted to live a certain way, they wanted to live in a certain area. Their families worked well together and got along. All this stuff matched. Sex, no way. How did they not figure that out?
Yeah, I think if it's somebody that you can picture spending your life with, whether you do get married or you just live common law for the rest of your life, you definitely need to figure out if you're sexually compatible or not. Because, like you said, you have one person who wants it all the time, one person who's like, yeah, only on the weekends type thing. You could have one person that's like, I want you to call me your naughty little bunny boy. And they're like, no, thank you. I'm not into that.
Right? But like a lot of these people, and it started out like I've been practicing 4 years now. And this is a huge trend in my practice. And it's a lot of like younger couples too, like 40 and under that I'm seeing this in, especially, right? It's like a lot of people that got married younger or like had like shorter relationships before they got married, or even if they're not married and they're just common law, but they're splitting after like having like a shorter time together before they really got serious. And it's like they might have kids together now and stuff like that, so maybe that's why they had their longer extended relationship. But it's like, how did you guys not figure out the sexual compatibility? And it's like, people don't talk about that. They don't go, hey, I'm super into BDSM, and the other person's like, holy shit, I'm missionary only and once a week.
Yeah.
You know, unless, you know, it's a month that ends in Y.
Unless it's your birthday.
Right? So it's like, they just don't work. Oh my God, but like, they don't talk about that stuff. And then once they figure it out, it's like, how long does it take? How many months? And sometimes I just want to slap people. Most of the time I just want to slap people, like for other reasons. But like this specifically, I would like to slap people and just be like, can you just talk to people?
Yes.
Right? Like if you just had a conversation and was like, this is what I want, this is what I look for, like this is what I'm interested in, this is what I'd like to try. Are you interested in any of this? And then the other person said the same type of stuff for themselves. You could have been like, okay, we don't match.
Yeah.
I'm out. Before you had like 3 kids, a couple of homes, and a boat to fight over.
Boat.
And the boat's the thing that you can't get over, right? Like, that's the biggest problem. You're out there like ready to saw the boat in half.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dear God, if I lose custody of this boat.
I don't care about the kids, but the boat, man. I need a boat.
He can take my kids, but if he takes this boat, I'm gone.
I just can't, okay?
Yeah, this boat is all I'm living for.
Can I have the boat on the weekends?
Bertha is all I've got.
Oh, that's a terrible name for a boat.
I don't know. Bertha is fully breached.
She's so breached.
Okay, let's tangent over. Let's get back to where were we? Get us back on track. I'm so off.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the nose guy. So I mentioned that I am attracted to men. Don't know why. So I'm straight. That's my sexual orientation. I have been hit on by women before. And it's somewhat like I do find it flattering. Because I'm like, oh, I could get it if I swung that way. But I'm not into that, you know? I've had like one girl, so I went on this exchange program for part of my degree at MUN. And I had to do like so many weeks in a French speaking place as part of my degree requirement for French.
Yeah.
And I had a girl there, and we had like they had different theme nights and stuff. So you have different theme nights, and you'd be able to dance and all this kind of stuff. And I was dancing with one of the girls I met. She was a friend, and we were just dancing and stuff. And she literally, I don't know if she had any alcohol or what she was feeling, but she just looks at me and she's like, "I like girls." And I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, as you would.
I don't know if she meant to say she was saying that because she was into me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know, because we didn't really talk much we didn't talk about it after she told me that. She was like, "Oh, j'aime les filles," and I was like, "Cool." Didn't think much.
Oh, was she like a friend of yours?
Yeah, she was a friend of mine.
Yeah, Rachel, I think she was testing the waters.
Probably.
She was like, "Hey, I like girls," and leaving it open to be like, "Huh?"
Yeah,
And
my
you
response,
didn't.
cool.
You didn't bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So
wanted a, me too.
or oh, I like boys.
No, she didn't want that.
No, she didn't want that.
She wanted a, me too. Want to get out of here?
Yeah. I had somebody message me, Plenty of Fish, and I don't remember what her message was, but I was like, "Hey, I don't swing that way. So, like, your message is kind of wasted on me." And her response was,
"You're so cruel. Shooting them down."
"I'm just being honest. I don't want to
wasted on you.
I don't want to leave."
You said, "Thank you. It's very flattering."
Or I think I might have said, like, "Thank you, but I don't swing that way," something like that.
Yeah, edit yourself now.
And one of the girls was like, "I bet I could change that."
Oh, okay, yeah, shoot her down.
And I was like, "I'm just not going to answer this anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the interactions have been like, "Oh, you just haven't found the right one." And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like my own vajayjay some days. I don't think I want to look at anybody else's vajayjay.
Yeah. Funny enough, Lexi and I were actually talking about this. Not your vajayjay. Like, yeah, Lexi and I were talking about Rachel's vagina.
Yes.
Lexi and I were talking about this because she was like talking about like if you ever get stuck looking at something on someone's face or something when you notice someone has like an unusual feature and like you can't avoid looking at it, like you shouldn't stare at someone because they have a difference or something, like whether it's like a mole or like some type of like beauty mark or something, birthmark, but and you're trying to like avoid looking. And I was like, sometimes that happens to me when women have like really like deeply cut shirts and like a lot of cleavage in your face. And I'm straight, but sometimes I get stuck looking at boobs.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's the Jenna Marbles thing. Like, right? You're just like, I need to look for a bit and figure out if I want to be you or be on you.
Yep.
Right? Yep. I love that video with the like girl crush thing. It's like, I know 100% I would never want to have sex with a girl, okay? Like, not one bit of it ever attracts me. That I do not want to deal with a vagina. Okay? I don't want to deal with my own half the time. But women are just like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Just like sometimes you're just like, damn, she is so pretty.
So I used to point out to dude if I seen a girl walk by and she had leggings on, and I was like, "Damn, her butt looks good in those leggings." And he'd be like, "What? You're looking at her butt?" I'm like, "Yeah, and?" He's like, "Are you sure you're not bisexual?" I'm like, "I'm not allowed to appreciate a woman's butt if they look good in leggings?"
In leggings?
He was like, "So am I allowed to look at the butt?" I was like, "I don't care if you look at the butt or not." Why do you think I'm pointing it out to you?
Oh, but I just like sometimes, and I wonder half the time, like when you get stuck looking at someone and you're just like, is it because I'm like, damn, she looks good? Or is it like, damn, I want that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really wish I could just like take that hair and have that. Right? Sometimes it's just like, is it because I want my hair to look like that?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I just like appreciative? Or do I just have ADHD and I get like I have no control over what my focus goes to as
I'm gonna say for you it's the latter.
It could be all of it. Who knows?
It's your ADHD.
Yeah. It's usually an ADHD problem.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
My wonderful dating escapades.
Oh yeah.
So,
But like where in that were we?
Talking about that. So there was I look back at this and I'm like, that was funny. So there was this once upon a time talking to this guy who had something in his dating profile name. He had in there James.
Mm-hmm.
And I assumed that was his first name.
Okay.
And
you would.
Yes, one would assume. And I met up with him a few times. Didn't really ask to confirm right away if that was his name.
Okay.
I just casually brought it up one night and I was like, because we were still talking on the dating app and then we decided we were gonna text. And I was like, "Oh, your name's James, right?" And he's like, "No, my name's Matt." And I was like, I've been thinking your name's been James the whole time. This is awkward.
Yeah, so why was it James?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe that was a middle name or something. Like,
wait, you never found out?
No.
Rachel.
I just left it as, okay, your name is not James, it is Matt.
Rachel.
Yeah, I know.
You're a bad Russian spy.
I know, I'm a horrible Russian spy. So, on that tangent, I had 3 Matts in my phone at one point. And because I didn't...
Who's actually James.
Because you didn't give last names, because, again, they could cut your face off and wear it as a mask and find you and all this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had to distinguish which Matt was texting me, because I didn't want to be texting one Matt thinking it was the other Matt,
Yeah.
So, I came up with a system.
Okay.
And what I did is, one Matt was Matt East End, because he lived in the East End of St. John's.
Yeah.
The other one was Matt with 1 T.
Interesting.
And the other one was Matt with 2 T's.
That's not confusing at all.
I can keep it straight. I was like, because if I see on my phone Matt East End, I was like, it's this Matt.
But why didn't any of them end up with Matt, who's also James?
I didn't think about that.
Rachel, missed opportunity.
I know. I should have put Matt, who was not James.
And which one would he have been?
He would have been Matt, who was not James.
No, but which one of those 3?
He was Matt with 2 T's.
See how easy it would have been? You wouldn't have had to know which one has 1 T and one has 2 T's, because that's stupid. That is like the way every rom-com goes. And it's like, I'm juggling 3 men, and like Matt with 1 T, Matt with 2 T's, and like Matt, and it's like his name is like Maddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping it all separate, and I don't know which one to pick. And then all of a sudden, all your world comes crashing down. But it's okay, because Matt with 2 T's is actually a billionaire, and they'll sweep you off your feet at one point.
Matt with 2 T's got really mad when I cut things off with him. Because I kind of told him, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of consistently seeing this other person. Spoiler alert, that was the milkman. And we're kind of seeing each other more than once, so like I kind of just want to keep it at the one, and he got really mad.
Spoiler alert, Milkman's real name is Matt with 3 T's.
It's Matt with 5 T's. Matt.
There was actually 4 Matts. And then dude, who's a doormat.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay, but yeah, so he was like, I actually started to like you. And I was like, okay, that's nice, but I didn't start to like you. So, bye.
You're not getting a rose tonight, Matt with 2 T's. So, go out.
You're not getting my rose. I'm sorry.
You're not gonna touch my flower. I hate those the like flower rose petals, like those descriptions of vaginas.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear them or you read them in books or anything, oh god, that's terrible.
Or they call it my sex.
I would take that over my flower.
I would just them not say any of
it. Pussy is okay. I can handle that.
I can handle pussy.
Oh, you can you?
No, I don't swing that way. I'm sorry.
I could resist. What are some other words they use? Channel.
Yeah.
Channel's what I really don't like. I'd rather hear sex than channel.
I can't remember what they called it in the book I just finished. I don't think they really called it anything. They just made like, oh, his hand went down below my underwear and inside me. I was like, straight to the point.
Folds?
Yeah. Oh, fold is one. Yeah, I've heard folds. Don't like that.
Bad.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll say mound. Don't like that.
Mound, I don't mind as much. If it's, it's not used that often. I'm trying to remember now what I used in the sex scene I wrote in Toymaker.
I can't remember what you wrote. I can't remember what you used. I'm half tempted to go get the book and look it up.
No, I'm bringing it up on my laptop.
Okay.
I don't ever figure it out. I'm trying to search it in the PDF. I was like, member? Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to find it. Oh my god, what was the girl's name?
Oh my god, it was the...
I'm blanking.
I'm also blanking.
It had to be like a Brittany, right? No.
Was it Brittany? It might have been Brittany. I feel like it was Brittany.
I thought so too, but...
Bianca?
Telling me it's not a Brittany.
No,
Bianca? It was like a B.
Yeah.
It's a Bianca, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Bianca was what one of the profs thought Brianna's name was.
Yes.
Because he was an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany?
Was it Bethany?
No. Becky. It's got to be a Becky. Yeah. Becky with the good hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The globes of her bare ass. Oh, Jesus. He plunged into her. He moved his hand down to her center.
Is that what you use? Center?
I use center.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's all. That's all the words I used for her.
Mm-hmm.
For him, I was just like, he pulled himself free, sheathed himself in a condom. I said dick.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't even remember what I wrote.
Did you black out?
Sometimes I'm just like going, and I forget everything. If it happened yesterday, I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because
It came together.
your thing of time is now and not now.
Yeah, that's all that happens. Yeah, now and not now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I wasn't cringy.
Mm-hmm.
I passed Melanie on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could have been real weird.
Mm-hmm. That could have been, yeah, that could have gotten weird.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to get worse. Because there's the sexual sadist in the next book.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But also, I'm intrigued. In case you didn't know, listeners, Melanie wrote a book. It's called The Toy Maker.
Yeah.
Get anywhere that books are sold. You can go to melanieflynnbooks.com.
Yes, melanieflynnbooks.com.
Mm-hmm.
Any emotional or psychological scarring is your own fault.
Yep. We are not responsible at Inconsistently Consistent LLC for any emotional or psychological scarring you may experience while reading the book.
Or at melanieflynnbooks.com. We are not responsible at that either.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What are we doing?
Trying to think, do I want to tell
Yes. I don't know.
the dude ones? Because there's not very many. He was very boring. Save the milkman for last.
Yeah, the milkman comes last.
He definitely did sometimes.
Those are evil laughs, Rachel.
Okay. There's only like really one with dude, which I was just like, this, I don't understand. You know how sometimes guys do weird things with their dicks, okay?
Yes.
And he came out of the bathroom and he was Winnie the Poohing it.
Also known as Donald Ducking it.
Also known as Donald Ducking it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in bed. I was like reading or something. And he comes in and he goes, watch this. And I look up. And he starts moving his hips back and forth so his dick is slapping against his inner thighs. And he thought it was the funniest thing on the face of the planet. And I just looked at him and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, look at the sound it makes.
Oh my god. Also, I think I don't know where I've heard this or seen this or like someone told me this or something because, you know, my memory is like a sieve. So someone said this to me at one point of a guy doing the similar thing and coming out and did like the helicopter dick. Yeah. Which is like, look at this, and then helicopter dick.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't. Okay, so, but then I was like, okay, so you can slap your dick around, but when I want to do it for fun, you get mad at me because it hurts.
So he was doing that, like, because he thought it was funny, right?
Yes.
Okay, the person who told me this said that this was like, oh no, wait, maybe I saw this in a comedy special.
Was it Eliza?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure she talks about a helicopter dick.
Maybe she did. Maybe it was Eliza. It's okay. Yeah. So maybe it was Eliza's comedy special. Because I think she said Okay, yeah, maybe it was. So a comedian probably said this, and it was like supposed to be a seduction technique.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, look, I'm being funny. It was, hey, look, hey, you know what? What does this do for you?
Well, yeah, I think it was Eliza because that is ringing very familiar as something she said. Like, you like that? You like that helicopter dick? Like, no, I don't. Stop it. Doesn't turn me on.
Yeah, it's got to be Eliza.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Not seen it, heard it.
Yes, I think it is Eliza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the only weird thing he did where he'd be like, "Oh, look at this." And I'd be like, "Don't do that ever again." Did I tell everybody about it? Absolutely, I did, especially after we broke up.
Were you just like, put your pants on?
I was like, "Stop. That's not I don't get why you're doing it." He's like, "It's funny." I was like, "No, no, it's not." Okay.
We're finally at the milkman.
Finally at the milkman. Because for whatever reason, there's a lot of funny things that happen.
Mm.
So, the milkman, let me paint y'all a picture there, listeners. Saturday night, 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, university res room. What would one person normally be doing on a Saturday night at 10 p.m.? Getting ready for a party. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
What was I doing?
Be shit-faced drunk in res.
What was I doing on a Saturday night at 10 p.m.? In my bed, in my pajamas, watching a movie, eating a full bag of sweet chili heat Doritos.
Ooh, that sounds like a good time.
I mean, because I didn't really party in my last year because I did all that in my second and my third year.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't really into it. So,
Yeah, but you know, as a 29-year-old lady,
29-year-old lady,
right now, that sounds like a really good time.
an almost 30-year-old lady. I mean, that's what I do most Saturday nights, let's be honest. Minus the full bag of Doritos. I don't do that anymore because, pre-diabetic and all that fun stuff. So can't really eat a full bag of Doritos. And on the dating website, and the way that Plenty of Fish worked, it still works the same way now, but you have to pay for like all these additional features now that I had free back in the day, which is bullshit, you ask me.
Oh, you're still doing Plenty of Fish?
No, I am not doing any dating websites. I am on a dating hiatus.
Oh.
And I have been on for a while. So
Okay.
kind of just focused on like me, myself, and getting my master's and being a kick-ass therapist,
Nice. You've collected enough data.
I have collected lots of data. Also, working through some things, trauma type things, trying to sort through some things. Anyways, having weird dreams about the milkman, which is messing me up. Anyway, one of the dreams more recently, we bought a house together.
Oh.
Mm.
Shit. You need me to burn that house down?
Well, I mean, I don't own a house right now, but in the dream, I remember I was like, yeah, we bought this house out in Lawrencetown. It overlooks the beach. It's so pretty. And I was thinking, how the fuck can I afford a house that overlooks the beach?
Jeez. That's the only thing you questioned?
And I also questioned, why am I buying a house with him? Why are we together? The main thing was, how am I affording a house that overlooks the beach?
Yeah.
And then it was, why was he in the dream? Why did I buy it with him? I don't understand. Anyways, I digress. But the way it works is like people can say that it's called like they want to meet you is what it is if you like somebody. It's like you swipe right, swipe left on Tinder. Right means you like them. Left means you don't care for them.
Yeah, so Plenty of Fish is like upgraded to try to be like Tinder now.
Because you could see a list of people who liked you on Plenty of Fish who wanted to meet you. You can't see it now. You have to pay extra for that. And I'm like, no, that was free in 2014. Why you gotta do this? So, I got this thing and it was like weird username. Couldn't really see the guy in the picture because he posted pictures of him playing a sport. I will not say which sport because that will, in case there's people out there listening who may know him, I'm not going to say which sport.
It was milking cows as fast as you can, hence Milkman.
Yes.
That's the big sport we're going with.
Yeah. It was a sport that involved a ball, and I will leave it at that.
Yes. Having a ball, milking cows as fast as you can.
And I couldn't really see his face, and I was like, oh, he doesn't look. What kind of got me is, so on the dating websites, you're supposed to put, like, about you in your profile.
Mm-hmm.
What he put is he was making fun of, like, some of the female profiles where it was like, I'm not looking for a hookup. I'm looking for something serious. But if you message me at 3 a.m., I'm totally going to come over and sleep with you because I'm so desperate for somebody to like me.
Have I mentioned how much I hate this man?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yes.
And that, like, I don't hate milkmen in general. I hate this specific milkman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was his. And then at the bottom, he was like, if your profile has any of these things, change it and maybe I'll consider meeting up for a drink with you. And I was like, he's an asshole, but I'm also an asshole.
Yeah. Okay, but he's like, change who you are, like, change your profile to fit what I like, and then I'll consider meeting you.
I think it was more so if you want to hook up, just be honest about it. Don't put, like, not looking for hookups, but you're secretly looking for hookups. Like, just be honest with what you want.
Yeah, but do you see how that's actually written?
Yes, I know how it's written. But at the same time, I was like, that's kind of funny because, like, if you want to hook up, just say it. But at the same time, I was also like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, but hindsight 2020 right now, Rachel.
Yes.
In 2023, of what we know about Miss
29-year-old lady.
Right? And we know about Milkman the Prick.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so
that was red flag number 1. Red flag on the play.
Yeah, we matched.
Mm-hmm. That seems to fit with the sport.
Yes.
I don't know what sport he plays, but I'm assuming.
I will text you the sport.
Does it have flags?
Yes.
So my red flag on the play works.
Yes. I think they have red flags in that sport.
Yeah, so red, yellow, and kick you the fuck out.
Yeah. So
because we're kicking.
Yeah. So we matched, started talking, and he was 27 at the time. I was 21. What do you think a 27-year-old man would be doing on a Saturday night?
Probably, like, groveling for his daddy's approval.
No. But that's funny. I think most people who are in their late 20s kind of don't like to go out very often Saturdays. They kind of just like to they might have, like, a chill night home, or they might, like, go out to dinner with some friends, just, like, have a chill vibe. Now, he was getting ready to go to a house party.
Yeah.
Which, like, I remember thinking, like, oh, I don't know why I'm talking to him. It doesn't seem like we're gonna mesh,
Yeah.
We were into two very different lifestyles. Spoiler alert, we were not. We were into the same type of lifestyle. Just being unfaithful.
Play the Rihanna
song. So we exchanged numbers, and I didn't text him first because I was like, I'm not texting you first because you could, again, cut my face off and wear it as a mask.
Yeah, and that only happens when you text someone first.
Exactly.
As you know.
And he texted me first and was like, oh, are you afraid to text me first? And I was like, oh, what made you think I would have texted you? And he was like, you gave me your number. And because I'm me, I was like, what made you think it was the right number? Bitch.
I can't stand this man.
I know.
I didn't know half of this that you're telling me. Like,
no, I didn't tell many people.
I knew broad strokes of these things, but like my stomach is like icked out. Like I want to go find him and do things that I can't admit to publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So hypothetically, if you were a character to appear in my book, the next one I write, if there happened to be a milkman, you'll know. You'll know. Someone who just like likes to drink milk, you'll see what happens. So. Especially there's a sexual sadist coming up.
So anyways, we did that and we were like, okay, we plan to meet up the next day. I asked him out actually because I was like, I'm going to ask all the people out because I'm not going to wait around for a guy. Because I'm like, I don't think guys have to ask girls out. Like, girls can ask guys out. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of my friends were like, you asked a guy out? I'm like, yeah, and your point? They're like, oh, they might not like a strong, independent woman who does these things. I'm like, well, if they can't handle a strong, independent woman, they can leave.
Yes.
I literally was the one who was like, because he was hungover from the party, and I was like, oh, you know what helps hangover is coffee, even though I don't get hungover. But as a 29-year-old lady, that's slowly changing. Slowly changing. Champagne makes me hungover, so.
Fancy. You fancy pants.
I'm a fancy 29-year-old lady. But yeah, so I was like, oh, you know what helps hangover is coffee. And he was like, oh, are you asking me out? And I was like, oh, yes, I am. And I was like, oh, maybe. He's like, oh, I know I'm being asked out. So we decided to meet up. Also,
Rachel, I understand you were super horny at the time, but can you say it like a little bit less horny when you talk about this story? Just like for my own ears, okay?
Okay, so here's the thing though. I wasn't going into this with the intention of sleeping with him, okay? I was like, we'll just meet up for coffee. We'll just have a talk. Because I had gone on some dates where it didn't end up in the bedroom. Not that much of a whore.
Okay. Speaking of degradation, I think you have a self-degradation kink.
I
or
do.
Something, okay? Stop degrading yourself, okay?
Listen, that's how I deal with things, is by degrading myself, okay? I'm working on it in therapy.
Self-worth. Say it together, Rachel. Self-worth. Did you say whore?
No, I said self-worth.
Self-whore. I was like, you bitch. I hope you fuck with me today.
But yes, didn't plan on sleeping with him. Because I just was like, oh, we'll just go out for coffee and just chat or whatever. Because it was Sunday night as well. And I was like, he's got to work. I have class. Because, I was a responsible university student who went to class, unlike some people I know.
Yeah, and he was an old man searching for his daddy's approval.
He was a man who had a job doing adult things. Yeah. I'm not going to tell, again, not going to give any identifying things in case there's somebody who's listening that can find this person and be like, oh, this person.
Yes, he worked on his daddy's farm.
He worked for his daddy.
The sheep and the cows.
Yeah. So we went out for our coffee. He didn't drink coffee, which I was like, why did you even agree to coffee if you don't drink coffee? But whatever. We did end up sleeping together.
Complicated like that.
Yeah, he was.
Nobody understands him, especially not his dad.
We did end up sleeping together. Now, this was a little awkward.
Okay.
We slept together, and sometimes you bleed.
Okay.
So I bled on his sheets.
Mm-hmm.
on his white sheets.
Okay. That seems like a hidden problem.
No, but literally, he was very concerned that he had hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic in 2023 as a 29-year-old lady. But it was very awkward. First time meeting this person, and I was like, oh, this is awkward. So,
May I have some follow-up questions?
Okay.
That didn't sound very confident.
Okay.
Were you injured?
No.
Was it just like normal like stretching issues, or was like period, or
I think it was just the roughness of the sex.
okay.
It was not period. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the roughness because,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. So anyways, here we are. Had only started speaking to this person not even 24 hours earlier. Butt naked, changing his bed sheets together. And I was like, this is great. So in my brain, I was like, he is never going to want to see me ever again after this because I bled on his sheets. Like, he's going to be like, absolutely the fuck not. That was a lie. The survey said that was a lie. So we did see each other again. Multiple times, in fact.
Yes, the milkman saga went on for many a year.
Went on for 8 years.
It was a long saga.
A very long saga. And so, because the amount, by the time we got back to his apartment, it, like, we were both fucking ready to go. So I think,
no prep, nothing.
No, we did prep, but I think there was just the combination of like kind of like the roughness with the prep and like because we did foreplay and all this kind of stuff, but I just think in general with like the roughness and we did a few different positions and everything. So okay, so the next story, you know this one, but you've asked me to tell it because you find it the funniest thing on the face.
Yes.
Okay, actually, so before that one, I'm gonna
tell me my bedtime story.
Before that one, there was a point where he knew the neighbors that lived above him because he was in like a basement apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And they were moving out. And I guess they heard us one night.
Oh, yeah, this story.
And the guy looked at him, older gentleman, which this mortifies. I don't know why he told me this because I was mortified when he told me this. The guy looks at him, the older gentleman goes, "So, you got yourself a screamer, eh?"
It's so icky.
And I was mortified.
Yeah. And so the man, like his upstairs, so Milkman's upstairs neighbor said this just to Milkman though, right? He didn't say it to you. You weren't present at the time.
No, he didn't say it to me. He said it to Milkman because they were like chatting while they were packing up their stuff and everything.
Yeah, but still, Milkman was like, "Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta go tell Rachel exactly what Buddy said."
Because he thought it was funny, and I was like, oh my God, I'm mortified. Anyways, this story, the one that you have asked me to tell. So
that's like that story, icky. To me, that's super embarrassing as well. Like, I hate that. Like, I've lived next to people, like especially in res where you can hear people having sex and stuff.
Yep.
And like, at least the people I heard, like the people that lived next door to me that were the guy who was always fucking his girlfriend, the two of them, they made no sound. I swear to God, not one peep came out of them except you only heard the slapping of skin. Right? I swear to God, both of them are like, "You can't make a noise at all. Don't even breathe. We're holding our breaths the entire time."
Imagine them deadpan, like. That's
okay, I don't think we should put the noises in the podcast. Rachel. Well, I guess we got to now. Oh, dee.
Yeah. So this one, this is I'm pretty sure you peed yourself laughing after I told you this.
Oh, I was having the time of my life.
You were. So, anyways, again, Milkman.
I retold this to Lexi. I had the time of my life. Oh my god, I wanted to sing it from the rooftops. It was stuck in my head. Oh, I begged you. Like this whole episode, I was like, "We have to do this, please."
Yeah. So we were, doing it one night, doggy style, as you do.
You and still the Milkman. We're still on Milkman stories.
Yeah, we're still on Milkman stories. So, doing it doggy style, and I felt a familiar buildup of having to fart.
Mm.
And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold it in until we're done, and then I'll go in the bathroom when I pee, and I'll fart in the bathroom or whatever. Not that we hadn't farted around each other. I was just like, we're in the middle of something. I don't really want to fart.
Yeah, and he's behind you, so
yeah. He's behind me.
Him.
So feel the pressure. I was like, feel the pressure. I was like, okay, I'll just hold it in and do it after we're done. But of course, when you get to the point that you're gonna get off, everything kind of relaxes. And I did fart. But it was very loud and just one burp. And he wasn't expecting it. And it would have been fine if he didn't react the way he did. But he literally acted like I shot him. And he literally went back like, oh, because I heard him do the, oh.
And did you say he clutched his chest?
He clutched his chest.
So he'd been shot in the chest.
Yeah.
And when Rachel told me the story first, I went, shot through the heart.
So of course I tried to play it off. And he was like, did you fart? And I was like, no, not at all. And he was like, Rachel.
So does he completely stop when he gets, shot through the chest?
We were finished. We both finished.
Ah, yes.
So he was like, Rachel. He's like, I know you farted. And I was like, I'm sorry.
And then, so did you take him to the nearest emergency room since he had been shot?
No.
But he'd been shot through the heart. And you're to blame.
Darling, you give love.
You give love a bad name.
I shot your dick with my fart that night.
I don't think you would have.
No.
If I know where the dick was.
No, but he acted like I shot him. And I tried to play it off like, no, I didn't fart. And he was like, Rachel. And I was like, okay, I did. I'm sorry. I was like, I couldn't hold it in. I'm sorry. It's just,
I was like, Rachel, I felt it in my chest. You hit me directly in the chest.
Yeah.
It was just point blank range.
If he didn't react the way he did.
It was point blank. I wasn't even wearing a vest.
If he didn't recoil and
yes, go, the recoil on that one.
He didn't do that.
You didn't even tell him the gun was loaded. You didn't tell me you had one in the chamber.
I didn't know I had one in the chamber. Oh my god.
You didn't tell me you were going to go off half cocked. I'm running out of gun jokes.
That's fine.
So let's talk about gun control.
Oh, let's not.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's too. We're not getting into that. I remember he was being very vague about this because we were texting as you were, because we were like, even after I moved back home after finishing my degree, we were still talking to each other, and I was like, this is interesting. Why didn't he like just cut things off? Because we don't live in the same city. But anyways, apparently there was a thing there. Anyways. So I remember talking to him, and he was like, yeah, I'm at the hospital. And I was like, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's all good. And I was like, okay, are you sure? He's like, yeah, it's all good. He was being very vague about why he was at the hospital. So I went to St. John's for my convocation. Because, that was a fancy thing I did where I walked across the stage and had a hood put on me. It was fine. And I went and seen him while I was
really weird.
What?
I walked across a stage and got a hood put on me.
No. It is weird when you think about it.
Right? Just the line, though. Right? I walked across the stage, got a hood put on me, and then I got thrown in a van.
So I went to see him while I was out there. And I remember asking him about the hospital because I was like, I want to make sure that you're okay, because like it's weird you went to the hospital and you're kind of being really vague about it. And I just want to make sure that you're not hurt or anything like that. And he goes, okay, I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to laugh.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to laugh.
Okay.
He jerked off so hard that he made himself bleed.
Okay. Holy shit.
And he was like, because he was like, I remember he was like, yeah, I'm bleeding. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah, I was jerking off too hard and I made myself bleed.
How does one do that?
I don't know. I think maybe if you like do it too aggressively, maybe if you tear the skin a little bit, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So let's postulate some theories. You like that word? I'm a writer.
Are you? You're also an English major.
Yes, I am. So like, if uncircumcised, there's a possibility there.
And he was.
More. He was uncircumcised? Uncircumcised?
He was.
He was uncircumcised?
Yes.
He was circumcised?
No, he was uncircumcised.
So he had foreskin?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the protective layering. So yes, I mean, he could have tore the foreskin, right? And I mean, like, lack of sufficient lubrication, right?
I don't know what guys use to jerk off. Lotion, I think, is what movies have taught us. I don't know if this is 100% accurate.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't buy lube.
Yeah.
Right? Like, unless they're, well, either getting sex toys or they're, like, into anal. So, yeah, I'd imagine a lot of straight guys, a lot of regular heteronormative guys, are not running around with bottles of lube.
They don't have to keep lube in their wallet like they do condoms,
Can you imagine just like a bottle of lube sticking out of their wallet?
Like a travel size thing of lube in the wallet. They're like, I got my condom and I got my lube. I'm ready to go.
In case the night goes well, or I go home alone. Either way, I'm ready for a good time. Some me time or some we time. Yeah, like, geez, can you imagine the emergency room visit and the awkwardness of that? Like, if you went to to the so he went to the hospital, like how he has to tell
Mm-hmm.
the nurse or the doctor he's seeing. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, so how did this happen? And he's like, I'm just very lonely. And I just jerked off too hard.
I remember because he told me that and we were lying in bed and I just went, oh. And he said, you promised you wouldn't laugh. I was like, I am not laughing. In my head, I was like, oh my God, that is so funny that you did that so hard that you. He's very like, you promised you wouldn't laugh. I was like, I'm not laughing, sir.
For me, I would have been like, I'm not laughing. I would just like you to send me a video where you reenact it so
No,
I can post that places.
I don't like getting. This is a PSA to men who are to talk to women. Do not send us unsolicited videos of you jerking your sausage unless we ask for it. Nobody wants to see that shit.
I see. I don't get dick pics. Okay, not that I don't get them, like as in I don't receive.
Oh, you don't get them, eh?
Yeah, it's not that I don't receive them. I do not understand them. Like, I don't understand why people think they're A, like, a good idea to send in the terms of, like, guys sending them, or B, why any women think they might actually do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, if there's any women that actually does anything for them. It doesn't, okay? Just seeing, like, a dick by itself does nothing for me. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It does nothing. The rest of the person might, okay? I need some more context.
Mm-hmm. You need to see if they have a nose.
I need to know if you have eyebrows.
And a nose.
I'm here for the eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I need a whole person, but also I think I'm more like personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to know who the person is to really be attracted to them. Cause like I've always been more attracted to like characters when like an actor is playing a character than I am to like the actual actor. Right? Same thing like meeting people. Like if I see just like a picture of them, not really interested as much as I am like after talking to them and getting to know them. You know, which takes effort and I hate that. So like, you know, need someone else to do all the effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like don't unless somebody asks for a video, be like, send me a video of you jerking off so I can have something to look at later.
Yeah.
Just don't send it unprompted. Because I had a guy do that. And it was Saturday morning. I was drinking my damn smoothie. And he sent me a Snapchat video of him jerking off. And he blew his load all over the bathroom mirror. And I put my phone down. And I sat there for a moment and contemplated what choices led me to that exact moment.
Did you contemplate going off the grid and off of technology?
I contemplated yeeting my phone into non-existence.
Like, I think about it as, like, a consent thing, right? Because, like, the same way you, like, wouldn't be on the street and someone takes their pants down and starts jerking off in front of them. Like, that's not okay. So don't do that when you're having a conversation or sending someone messages or something, right? Whether the context is through, like, a dating app or something, right? Like, ask, hey, can I send this to you?
I seriously contemplated getting a brand new phone in that moment because I was like, dear God, what choices have led me to the fact that I just seen this? I am drinking a smoothie. It is 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
I probably would have yeeted the smoothie first before the phone.
No, I didn't want to eat my smoothie because it was really good. I made a good smoothie that morning. But I literally sat there And then I went into Snapchat, deleted him off Snapchat, deleted the dating app that I had downloaded, and just threw my phone on the couch and sat there for a moment.
It was Snapchat too?
Yeah.
So it like wasn't even the context of like a dating app for someone
No.
you've been talking to through that. So
No.
Ugh.
I just sat there for a moment. Then I sent a Snapchat to another friend that was like, I just got this video and I hate all men. And he was like, girl, same.
I I have not done Snapchat in such a long time. I basically only keep it for like the filters
Mhm.
to frig around with those, and I don't use it for anything else. I
Mhm.
don't actually message through it or open any of the messages anyone sends me.
Mhm. I know, you don't open mine.
I have no idea if you sent me anything.
Not
I
recently.
don't have notifications on.
Because you don't open them.
I'm sorry, did I not tell you I don't use Snapchat?
No, you never told me this.
Okay, I
No,
haven't used it in years.
now I know.
Okay, I'm glad you know. Because I thought I told you, so.
No. Anyways, so that like I was just like, no. So he did try to re-add me on Snapchat, didn't accept it. And then he somehow found me on Facebook and was like, why did you delete me off Snapchat? Sad face. And I was like, because you're a fucking creep, that's why. Actually, I didn't answer him. I just deleted him and then I blocked him.
Because you ruined my smoothie.
You ruined my smoothie experience. It's my wholesome experience in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Unsolicited dick pics.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Oh, have you seen the movie Spontaneous?
No.
Such a good movie. There's like a fun little exchange between two of the like main characters where they start sending unsolicited dick pics, but they're pictures of guys named Richard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh, here, like I'm just gonna send you my dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a little funny exchange. And I was like, ah, that's cute. Because they're just like high schoolers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was like talking about how shitty men are and sending unsolicited dick pics all the time, and then they just sending like unsolicited pictures of Richards back and forth, and be like, my Richard's better than your Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was cute. But also, you know, that movie Spontaneous is like
Mm-hmm.
the one where their heads blow up randomly.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen that preview, it's that horror movie where it's weird horror comedy where like randomly the people in the school, the teenagers, like for some reason, randomly their heads will just spontaneously combust.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a funny horror movie, and that has like a little bit of like a teen romance kind of arc to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one that plays Hannah Baker is the main character.
Okay.
Yeah, like Hannah Baker from 13 Reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in it, and then I don't remember if there's anyone else notable. It was a while since I watched it. I liked it. Came out like 2020.
Okay. I might have to look that up.
It's on Netflix. It was a fun time.
I'll have to watch that then.
A lot of gore.
Gore doesn't bother me. It's more so the psychological ones that kind of get me.
Yeah, it was a fun time though, because it's just like randomly exploding people and like teen angsty kind of emo drama sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. The last story is not one of my own.
I thought we were done.
No, I have it from a friend.
Oh my god, this is like the MCU after credits scene.
This is the post-credit scene. This is the second post-credit scene.
Ooh.
So that most people leave because they don't realize there's a post-credit scene, like a post-credit scene. One of my friends in res, he was openly gay.
Okay.
And he was like a very fun person, very sweet person, like loved him to death.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the breezeway one night. and he got drunk.
And the Breezeway was like the on-campus bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, more like club type of bar.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was like a pub-style bar at our university. But this one was more like a club, dancey, live music type of bar on campus.
Yeah. So he went there one night, and he was drunk. And for some reason, he thought to himself, I know I'm gay, but maybe I should have sex with a girl just to try it.
Okay.
So he did. Go back to his room. They did the thing.
I know I'm gay.
The next day, he says to his roommate or whatever, one of his friends, and because they're like, "Oh, how was last night with that girl?" He looks at them and he goes, "Well, I'm definitely gay." And we were all just like, "Okay,
surprise!"
He definitely knows he's gay now.
He's like, just checked.
Yep.
Double checked it, guys.
Just had to double check. Just make sure, you know?
Yeah. They say every 3 years you gotta do a test.
Yep. But yeah, he had sex with the girl and then he was like, yeah, I'm definitely gay. I had many questions.
Yeah. Many questions. Like why?
My main question is, did he actually get off?
And did he actually get it up?
Yes, that too. Like, was this like a successful intercourse experience?
And is successful even the right word?
Yeah.
Because even if it, everyone completed the assignment, was the operation a success?
Yeah, like, did things work properly, or was there some awkward thing where he couldn't like get it up, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay." Like, and she was just trying to be like, "Oh, what happens all the time. Don't worry about it." Because if you're drunk, sometimes you get liquor dick or beer dick, and you can't get it up.
But I mean, even if both people got off, can we call it a success?
I don't know.
Right? Because, like, this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
And I also feel strange as two white, straight women talking about it.
Yes.
Because, like, I feel like we don't have the right insight on this.
We don't, but it was just one of those things that I just think about that, and I'm like, it'd be like, I equate it to if I was like, I know I'm straight, but.
Yeah, and then went out and had sex with a woman.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure,
Now, I mean, like, with enough stimulation, anyone can come.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's possible for him to have, finished, even if he's not attracted to her.
Yeah.
Right? She just had to put in the effort.
Yes.
But, like, it's kind of funny, but also it kind of makes me a little sad. Because, like, why?
I don't know if it was an idea he had after he got drunk.
Yeah, like why did want to do that?
I don't know.
Did, like, because I think about friends of mine that were closeted, and struggled with it
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
like dealing with the pressures of it, and like think about the town I grew up in, and like you grew up partly in. You
Mm-hmm.
were here all the time, but the years you were here, think
I
about
know.
how close-minded this area is.
Yes, I think about
And
that because
how
I think about all the people who came out after they left,
Mhm.
and
And there's one guy that I know of, and I don't know him personally, like, to be friends with,
Mhm.
but I know his parents put him through conversion therapy.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
Oh, you know who that guy is?
Oh, I know because he did end up marrying a woman.
Yeah, he's still married to the woman.
Yes.
Yeah. His that situation is fucked up.
Yes.
So I'm just like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
Right? Like, Rachel, we can't end on a downer.
No, we can't.
We can't.
I have one that is not. It's not mine, but I was told this by a friend.
Oh, a friend, huh?
Friend. So
Okay.
it's
Wink,
not.
wink, nudge, nudge.
No, they were. I was told by a friend. So one of my friends here, she had Invisalign,
Mhm.
and she had posted some pictures on Instagram to show like before and after.
Mhm.
Like this is my teeth before Invisalign, this is my teeth after. She posted the pictures and she had her mouth open to kind of like show, all angles of the teeth,
Ah,
if you
okay.
will. She got messages from people asking her to send them pictures of her uvula.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. They wanted her
Okay.
to take close up pictures and send it to them. And they were willing to pay her for uvula pictures.
That's weird, but like how much?
I don't think she told me how much, but I was just like, because we were sharing weird stories. I told her about my nose one, and then she shared that, and we were like, "Huh, men are weird, aren't they?"
Yeah, like men are weird, but like how do I get on this uvula thing, right? Like
Listen, the next time I get a message for somebody offering to be my sugar daddy, I'll send them your way. I still get those messages.
because I mean like I don't know if I can get in on the feet game, right? But like uvula, huh? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's doing for anybody, but like
Listen, I don't know what feet do for
huh?
anybody either. So, like,
Yeah, but like, yeah, I feel like my feet aren't doing anything for anybody. They don't do anything for me.
no, my feet are too crusty for me.
Yeah, right. Same, right? And I'm not gonna like make them look pretty. That's a lot of work. But a uvula, right? You got to keep your mouth clean.
Mm,
That's not much extra work for me.
no.
So, how much are we talking, right? Like, we got to figure this
Again,
out.
I don't know. But like I said, the next time I get a message for somebody offering to be a sugar daddy, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, hey, what's the going rate for uvulas? My friend is interested.
I mean, I had one the other day that was like, I'll pay you $5,000. I think it was $5,000 a week.
Uh,
That's what he
no,
wanted to.
they just wanted to talk though.
Yes, that's all they want
No,
to do is
I hate those. Oh, I don't want to talk.
talk.
I hate talking. Here's the money.
Just send me the money.
Yeah, that's mostly lawyering is talking for money, but like, yeah, Jesus. Ugh.
Okay, I'll find one that the next time I get one, I'll respond and be like, "What do you need from me?" And if they don't need any talking or anything, I'll send them your way.
I don't want the sex part either. Just like pictures of uvulas. I can do that.
What are you into? You into uvulas? She'll send you some uvulas.
Pictures of uvulas with no talking or sex. I can do that.
You can do that.
Here's my PayPal.
Oh my. And as I said, I'm on a dating hiatus at the moment, so I haven't gotten any dates in a good, I think 3 years, 2.5-ish years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just focusing on me.
Sometimes you just gotta take a you time.
And also, there's no, like, it's hard to find not weird men. I can deal with some form of weirdness, but I can't deal with a lot of weirdness, because I'm weird
You
myself.
found a lot.
I found a lot.
You found some weirdos in the rough.
I have found some weirdos in the rough. They are definitely not diamonds in the rough. They are all
No.
weirdos in the rough.
Yeah, they're not diamonds, they're not gems in the rough. You found all of the weirdos.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, listeners. I have officially exposed myself.
Rachel, an expose.
Yeah, this is the
We're
men.
just talking about titles, throwing it all out.
Yes, I know. Coming out with random people I've come across, and you know what?
And they've come across you. Okay.
Listeners, if you have any stories about coming across people or people coming across you, let us know. You can leave a review. You can send us an email. We're inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com. You can message our Instagram page. We're inconsistentpodcast1 on Instagram. You can message our Facebook page, Inconsistently Consistent. You can also follow us on Instagram if you want to message us a particular story because you want us to tell the other person. I'm _Rachel VR_ on TikTok and Instagram. I changed my TikTok so it matches my Instagram now.
Yeah, I'm at Melanie with an extra E on the end, 427. And you can always, comment on any of our posts, especially on the Inconsistent Podcast 1, especially when we're posting to say there's a new episode.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Buy Melanie's book. You can go to melanieflynnbooks.com to find out where a book is coming near you.
Mm-hmm. Someone does come in that book.
They do.
They do.
They don't come on somebody.
No, they come in them.
Yeah, they come in them.
But it was safe sex. Don't worry about it.
I love how we both had to stop and think, like, does he?
And I was like, did that happen? I was like, I think I wrote it, right?
Yeah, I think you wrote it the last time I checked.
I was like, I wrote that. I think that's what happened. I think that's how I wrote it.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't know. Sometimes the characters just do their own thing, right?
Mm-hmm. They have a mind of their own.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
I birth them and then they go.
Yeah, she drops them out of the nest like a mama bird.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.